What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Demetrious Johnson has broken down how Alexander Volkanovski can once again defeat Diego Lopes in their upcoming rematch. The two are set to face each other at UFC 325 later this month, and Demetrious believes the blueprint is already there based on their first fight. He explained that Volkanovski actually did a lot of things right last time, especially when it came to managing distance and avoiding danger. According to Demetrious, Diego Lopez is an orthodox fighter with serious power, while Volkanovski is far more versatile with his movement and stance switching. One of the biggest keys in the first fight was Volk's ability to constantly move away from Lopez's power side. Instead of backing straight up or stepping into danger, Volkanovski consistently angled off and circled away from the power shots. Demetrious pointed out that many fighters make the mistake of showing feints and then stepping directly into an opponent's strongest weapons. Volk avoided that completely. Every time Lopez tried to throw, Volkanovski was already moving, forcing Lopez to reset and turn before he could generate real offense. That extra beat made a huge difference because it allowed Volk to stay one step ahead. Johnson said he would like to see Volkanovski continue using the same approach in the rematch. That means constant lateral movement, stepping to the inside at the right moments, and firing strikes from angles where Lopez has to turn to face him. He also mentioned that mixing in high kicks and combinations while circling keeps Lopez guessing and prevents him from planting his feet. The key detail Demetrious emphasized was timing. If Volkanovski can consistently move first and attack from better positions, he will always be in a stronger spot to land clean shots. When Lopez has to turn and chase, Volk can capitalize with his right hand and combinations. Johnson believes that if Volkanovski sticks to this smart, disciplined game plan, he puts himself in the best position to win the rematch once again. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Strickland has opened up about why he absolutely hates filming content with the UFC. As he prepares to face Anthony Hernandez at UFC Houston next month, Sean explained that the whole process feels completely fake to him. He said that whenever the cameras are on, the UFC has no interest in showing the real, unfiltered version of who he is. According to Sean, anything raw or honest never makes it into the final edit, which makes the entire experience frustrating. He feels like the promotion already knows the type of content they want and just needs him to repeat certain lines for YouTube videos or background footage. In his mind, it would be easier if they simply told him exactly what to say, filmed it quickly, and let him get on with his day. Sean made clear that the forced nature of these shoots is why he dislikes them. Moving on to another news, Tom Aspinall shared his breakdown of Justin Gaethje's fight style ahead of UFC 324. Tom explained that Gaethje is a fighter who actually has every skill in the book, but often chooses not to use them in a traditional way. Instead of fighting safe or technical, Justin prefers chaos, and that is exactly why fans love him. According to Aspinall, Gaethje is happiest when he is standing in front of someone and having an all-out scrap. Tom pointed out that both fighters involved are predominantly orthodox, but what really separates Gaethje is how creative and violent his striking can be. One of his favorite techniques is not just the standard calf kick, but the running, soccer-style calf kick. Gaethje will start from distance, sprint forward, and absolutely smash the leg with full force. It is reckless, brutal, and incredibly effective. Aspinall added that in between those kicks, Gaethje can still do everything well. He is a wrestler by trade, but often ignores that background to throw massive hooks, big uppercuts, and heavy overhands. Tom highlighted how Gaethje mixes those punches with his signature running chop kicks, creating non-stop pressure. What stands out the most, according to Tom, is Gaethje's complete disregard for his own safety. He runs in at full speed, both feet facing forward, and fires kicks with no concern for his own leg health. Aspinall joked that it looks like he could break his leg doing it, but Gaethje simply does not care. He just keeps charging forward, unfazed, throwing power with reckless intent. That fearless mindset, combined with raw aggression and skill, is what makes Justin Gaethje such a dangerous and entertaining fighter. Moving on to another news, Derrick Lewis says he is heading into his next fight feeling better than ever. The heavyweight veteran is set to face Waldo Cortez Acosta at UFC 324 next week, and ahead of the matchup, Derrick made it clear that this is the best version of himself fans have seen. He said he feels perfect right now, not just physically, but mentally as well. According to Derrick, everything in camp has been clicking, and his confidence is at an all-time high. Lewis also revealed that the UFC provided him with peptides that have made a noticeable difference in how his body feels. He admitted he has been taking them every day and could feel the effects almost immediately. He explained that his recovery has improved, his energy levels are up, and his overall mindset feels sharper. Those around him in camp echoed the same thing, saying Derrick has looked like a completely different fighter in training. One coach described him as being like a video game character during sessions, reacting instantly to instructions and adjustments. His mental clarity stood out the most, with Derrick executing changes on the spot without hesitation. They also pointed out how impressive his recovery has been, even after intense workouts that would usually slow him down. During one session, after completing a tough conditioning routine, Derrick still wanted to put in extra heavy bag work, which surprised everyone in the room. Typically, that day would be lighter, but his body felt so good that he pushed for more. His coaches admitted they were blown away by how quickly the peptides seemed to take effect and how consistent Derrick looked throughout camp. Overall, the belief is that this could be a game changer for Lewis as he prepares for UFC 324. With improved recovery, sharper focus, and renewed confidence, Derrick truly believes he is in the best shape of his life heading into this fight. Moving on to another news, Justin Gaethje has shared his thoughts on why Arman was passed over for a lightweight title shot, and he believes Arman has nobody to blame but himself. Justin admitted that Arman is probably one of the most deserving fighters in the division based on skill and performances. However, he explained that at the highest level of the sport, certain mistakes simply cannot happen. Gaethje pointed to the moment when Arman was set to fight for the belt, but pulled out the night before the fight. Justin said none of them truly know what happened behind the scenes, whether it was a weight issue or something else, and fans are not fully privy to those details. Still, he emphasized that pulling out of such a massive fight does not sit well with the UFC, unless it is due to a serious and unavoidable injury. According to Justin, when the promotion puts a huge amount of money, time, and resources into building a fight, failing to make weight or withdrawing late becomes a major problem. He said this is something you simply cannot do at the top of the sport. When the UFC is heavily promoting a matchup and investing in it, any disruption creates frustration and damages trust. Justin also brought up the incident involving Dan Hooker at the weigh-ins. He explained that headbutting another fighter on the scale is another thing that cannot happen, especially so close to a major event. Gaethje said that situation risked jeopardizing yet another fight the day before, a card the UFC had already poured massive resources into promoting. He added that with the fight being positioned as a major showcase, including being the first fight on a big broadcast platform, it makes sense that the UFC would be cautious. From a business standpoint, Justin said a huge company is unlikely to take repeated chances when those kinds of issues keep popping up. Gaethje concluded by saying that if circumstances were different, the fight could have been him versus Arman instead. Instead, things played out another way. In his view, this is ultimately why the situation is what it is right now, and only time will tell how things unfold moving forward. Moving on to another news, Daniel Cormier shared a powerful message about what it truly takes to become the best in the world. He explained that greatness often looks strange from the outside, especially before success arrives. Daniel talked about being comfortable with doing things differently, even if other people think it is weird. He said he was fine being seen as strange during his journey because the work was being done when no one was watching. Cormier described an example of a young athlete who would walk through school in a way that others might laugh at or question. To most people, it looked odd and unnecessary, but that same kid later became a world champion. Daniel pointed out that once someone wins a world title, nobody talks about how weird they were anymore. All people see is the belt and the result. He emphasized that it takes a certain level of insanity to reach the top. According to Cormier, you have to believe you are the best in the world, even when that idea sounds impossible, because the world is so big. Only a very small group of elite individuals can truly hold that belief deep down. Daniel explained that when athletes walk into world championships or the biggest moments of their lives, very few actually believe they are the best. One of the people who must believe it is the athlete themselves. That belief is not optional. Without it, the goal is impossible to achieve. Cormier made it clear that confidence, self-belief, and embracing what makes you different are essential. If you do not believe you are the best, you will never become the best. Success starts in the mind long before it shows up in the results. Moving on to another news, Francis Ngannou is still putting in serious work, even without a fight booked. The former heavyweight champion recently shared a training video on his Instagram, showing just how intense his routine remains. Despite not being scheduled to compete right now, Francis is clearly staying disciplined and locked in. In the caption of the post, he joked about his motivation, writing that he skipped abs the day before, so now he had to pay for it. The clip shows him grinding through a brutal core workout, reminding fans that his work ethic has not slipped at all. Even during downtime, Francis continues to train like a fighter who expects to be called at any moment and wants to stay ready. Moving on to another news, Gilbert Burns shared his honest thoughts on starting MMA later in life. He explained that beginning the sport in your 20s is not too late at all, even if the goal is to become a world champion. According to Gilbert, your 20s are still prime years, especially if you have an athletic background or have played any kind of sport before. He believes mindset, discipline, and having the right people around you matter more than age at that stage. However, he drew a hard line once fighters reach their 30s. Gilbert said that starting MMA after 30 makes the journey extremely difficult and unrealistic for most people. He pointed out that unless you are someone like Yoel Romero, an Olympic-level athlete with freak genetics, the odds are stacked against you. In his view, after 30, the body, recovery, and learning curve become major obstacles over time for most athletes. Moving on to another news, Joe Pyfer has shared his mindset ahead of his upcoming fight against Israel Adesanya at UFC Seattle. Since the matchup was announced, both fighters have shown mutual respect, which led some fans to wonder if Pyfer might be hesitant once the cage door closes. Joe made it clear that will not be the case at all. He explained that respect exists outside the cage, but once they step inside, everything changes. In his words, Adesanya is trying to take something from him, and that is not going to happen for free. Pyfer said he is not afraid to swing big and commit fully to his shots. While he respects everything Adesanya has accomplished in the sport, he stressed that this is still a fight, not a friendly sparring session. He described himself as someone who thrives in chaos and pressure, adding that he enjoys brawling and exchanging rather than playing it safe. According to Joe, he is not interested in point fighting or pretending they are best friends inside the octagon. He explained that having respect does not mean holding back. In fact, he believes it would be more disrespectful to approach the fight cautiously or speak lightly about the outcome. Pyfer openly said he believes he can knock Adesanya out, grapple him, and show the full range of his skills. He emphasized that the moment is not too big for him and that pressure has never been an issue in his career. Joe pointed out that he has already fought on big stages, including main cards and high-profile events, and that experience has helped him stay calm. To him, the only difference this time is that he will be in the final fight of the night. Everything else, he said, is just noise. Pyfer also stripped the fight down to its simplest form. He said that when Adesanya stands across from him, records and past accomplishments do not matter. No matter what his resume says, he is still 0-0 against Joe Pyfer. That is the mentality he is carrying into UFC Seattle. He finished by saying he will not be gun-shy, he will not hesitate, and he is fully prepared to go out there and try to take this fight by force, with no fear and no doubts. Moving on to another news. It looks like Islam Makhachev has his eye on a surprising potential opponent. The welterweight champion has shown interest in defending his title against Michael Morales, and the situation has quickly caught the attention of fans. Islam recently interacted with Morales' record on Topology, where a loss was briefly added to Morales' profile last week before being removed again shortly after. In an interview with Match TV, Islam explained what he saw and why it stood out to him. He said that just a few days ago, Morales appeared to have suffered a defeat, but suddenly his record showed him as undefeated again. Islam questioned how the result was removed so quickly, saying he clearly saw footage of a cage fight where Morales was choked out. According to Islam, the explanation given was that the bout was labeled as an exhibition match, which is why it did not count as a loss on his record. Islam did not seem impressed by that reasoning. He made it clear that if the fight truly did not count, then the solution was simple in his mind. He said Morales would need to be choked out again, this time for real. The comments sparked immediate discussion about a possible matchup and whether Islam is seriously pushing for this fight or simply sending a warning shot.